So, welcome to another day of walking with Jesus. Today, as we walk with Jesus, we're going to be looking at the Gospel of Luke and chapter 1, beginning at verse 57. And the exciting thing here, and the thing that would be really easy to just skip over, is as we change the scenario from Mary, who stays with Elizabeth for 3 months. And my guess is that there's a little bit of overlap because we're hearing about the birth of John in this passage. And my guess is that probably Mary is still there, that she would actually leave after the birth of the boy. Who knows how long after the birth? Maybe she was gone before he was named. But regardless, I'm sure she stayed since Elizabeth was at 6 months and Mary stayed with her for 3 months. It just makes sense that she would have been present for the birth of John. I can't imagine her leaving before that. And so we're going to switch now scenes to Elizabeth. And, we have to pause and really allow the wonder of this moment to sink in because remember, Elizabeth was of old age. She was too old to conceive, and yet here she has conceived and she's giving birth. Now the time came for Elizabeth to give birth, and she bore a son. And her neighbors and relatives heard that the Lord, Yahweh, had shown great mercy to her, and they rejoiced with her. And on the 8th day, they came to circumcise the child. And they would have called him Zechariah after his father, but his mother answered, "No, he shall be called John." And they said to her, "None of your relatives is called by this name." And they made signs to his father, inquiring what he wanted him to be called. And he asked for a writing tablet and wrote, "His name is John." And they all wondered. So I'm going to pause right there. Not that the end of the story is there, but I'm going to pause right there because I don't want to rush through this. I want us to really pause and reflect on the mystery and the wonder and the celebration of this season. Here this woman who is older and her husband who are older are blessed, and they have a child. And the neighbors and the relatives hear, and they realize that God, the Father, the Lord God Almighty, had shown mercy to her, and they rejoiced with her. And then they come in, as family and friends will, and on the 8th day they come to circumcise the child, and they wanted to call him Zechariah. Never mind what the mom and dad want, they're going to call him Zechariah after his father. That, by the way, was a little bit unusual. Usually children got named for their grandparents in that culture in that time, according to most of the research that comes from that era and that place. But, calling him Zechariah after his father would be a really good thing to do. But his mother answered and said, No, wait a minute here. He shall be called John. And they said to her, but none of your relatives is called by this name. Now, you got to remember, these are potentially, pushy family members. And they're like, what do you mean? None of your relatives is called by this name. And so they then go to Zechariah, who would be the higher court of appeals here, and they made signs to his father, Zechariah, inquiring what he wanted him to be called. What do you want him to be called? And from this, you get the idea that perhaps Zechariah not only was dumb, but was also deaf, because they have to make signs for him and things of that. They can't just say, "Hey, Zechariah, what do you want him to be called?" So anyway, they made signs to his father, inquiring what he wanted him to be called. He asked for a writing tablet and wrote, "His name is John." So we have consensus. Elizabeth and Zechariah together say John. And they all wondered, and here's the thing, they wondered because they were on the same page. Now, remember, Gabriel had told Zechariah to name his boy John, and somehow Zechariah had to have communicated that to Elizabeth, so Elizabeth would know. And now, the relatives and the friends come in and they make a fuss over it, and they're going to want to call him something else. And he says, no, his name is John, causing all of them to wonder. Well, when we come back tomorrow, they're going to get more cause for wonder. But I just didn't want us to skip by this. This is an amazing gift that Zechariah and Elizabeth, who are advanced in years, beyond childbearing age, are able to bear a son. And his name is John. What great and glorious news. He will be the forerunner of the Messiah, and great things will be done by him. So, may you enjoy the wonder of the season. Don't run through it so quickly that you miss the glory, the wonder, the mystery, and the majesty of this season. God bless you as you walk with Jesus today.